I'm a 3D artist, and in this video, I turn Minecraft's most harmless and innocent creatures into highly destructive boss fights, and even got a real mod developer to rate what I made from 1 to 10. And we're starting with the parrot. I started by building a new and improved bird model that is actually slightly larger than the original, and drew 1 or 2 new wing textures, actually make that like 10. My idea for this one is a phoenix because it's the only creature that can capture the burning passion and violence of the original mod. I eventually settled on these multi-layered 3D wing pieces that give it more depth than a piece of cardboard. I referenced the bald eagle a lot for anatomy on this one since the leg shapes and the claw shapes and general vibes are pretty intimidating. Let me actually take that beak as well while I'm at it, but I'm also vaguely borrowing the neck plume thing from the vulture so I don't violate the eagle's copyright or whatever. I'm using the fire colors for this thing since I'm planning on the whole thing glowing anyway. You know, on second thought, I have a big problem with this. It still looks too friendly. So after a quick chiropractic tutorial, I just gave it a quick little... And just like that, it's looking a lot more, hey, don't look at me like that. This is for your own good, and you know it. Finally, I made some fire plume things along the top, maybe some Mr. Beast lightning bolts made of fire on the eyes. And with that, it should probably also do some stuff. So this is the phoenix. It likes to run circles around its original spawn point. Wait, did it just fly through the walls? It's magic actually, it can do that. And it has 4 different attacks it can use, just like birds in real life. First is this flamethrower attack where it throws flames at the target. This one's pretty self-explanatory, just kind of sprays out some fire particles and you don't want to get hit by that ideally. Next is this dive attack which also sets you on fire, but you can avoid it by jumping out of the way. Okay, well Next attack, you know how the gas can shoot a fire charge? Well, the phoenix can also shoot a fire charge. 2 actually. Let's just... And finally, after the phoenix loses half of its health bar, it gets 1 more attack to use where it starts healing itself midair, but you don't have to just let this happen. If it takes damage in this state, it falls on the ground and you smack it around a bit until it snaps out of it. Oh yeah, it also takes damage from water, so if you happen to have a million splash bottles laying around, you can kind of deal some damage that way. The wings even have their own hitboxes, so if you hit them with an arrow, it has a chance to fall down immediately. I love it when games have damage mechanics that are slightly more complicated than a number going down. Like in War Thunder, if I shoot this tank track in the right spot, this dude cannot move. But if I shoot the fuel tank, this dude cannot do anything anymore on account of not existing. Granted, I think the stakes are higher in games like this, where you've got these giant battles happening with lots of people and planes and battleships, and there's like 140 maps, many of which are based on real locations. I'm making a bird in a volcano, so it's not really the same thing. These vehicle models are detailed and realistic enough that I'm starting to wonder if the artists are doing all right, and they keep raising the bar too. They just dropped their 9th wave update, which added extra ultra improved water graphics, a whole branch of Hungarian prop planes, and more. A lot more. So download War Thunder today for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox using my link in the description, and any new players, or those who haven't played for 6 months, will receive 100,000 silver lions, the Eagle of Valor decorator, among other things. You can also try War Thunder Mobile and experience the action from your nearest, well, anywhere. Big thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring. Let's get back to the video. I'm honestly pretty happy with how the phoenix turned out, but how do you actually find it? Well, it all starts with the sniffer. This big lump is known for finding 2 seeds, that's it. But actually now it can find 3 seeds, which is a 50% increase in features. This is the fire flower seed. I was too lazy to think of a name. Feel free to offer your brilliant suggestions. And it grows into this fire flower thing. My buddy made this texture. You can tell by the fact that it looks good, but it doesn't just look good. You know how you can tame parrots with seeds? Well, something interesting happens if you tame one with this seed. It turns orange. But it doesn't just turn orange, because if you put it on a lead, it'll start flying in a random direction, and if you follow it around for a while, it'll eventually lead you to a volcano in the middle of the ocean. And this is where the phoenix lives. The island itself isn't all that crazy. It's got a beach and a jungle, and this isn't a build. The whole thing is randomly generated, so you never get the same one twice. You'll also notice it's completely hollow in the center with lava pools and raised platforms. Oh, that's so weird. It's almost like it's a boss arena or something. The first thing you'll see in here is this weird phoenix egg not chilling in the middle here, and if you walk up to it, oh, see, now that's a warning mechanism to make sure you don't walk closer. But if you do anyway, the phoenix hatches and starts messing up your life. Unless you bring fire resistance, that actually is really strong here. Try not to fall in though. The arena makes this a lot more difficult. Remember that heal move where you can knock it on the ground? Well, if you knock it into lava specifically, it recovers instantly, so you gotta build a platform or just get lucky, I guess, with that. But if somehow you're able to actually beat this thing, clothing, it drops 2 different items based on the original Phoenix mythology. First, we got this Phoenix Feather, which is a Michelin star potion ingredient since it can be used to make Regen 4 bottles. I don't think I need to explain why that's very strong, but it heals 3.5 hearts every second. That's assuming you don't glowstone it to level 5. And second, we got this Phoenix Egg, which looks a lot like the egg from the volcano since it's literally the same model. The closest item I could use to describe this is the dried ghast. In the lore, phoenixes usually have some kind of rebirth, immortality trope. So if you put this egg in lava and then wait a few minutes, it eventually hatches into a baby phoenix. I really put my heart and soul into modeling this one. I mean, sure, it's just a smaller version of the boss, but I love this thing. Gotta make sure it looks okay perched on the shoulder, because remember when this video was about the parrot? Well, now we've gone full circle because this thing is basically the cooler parrot. You can make it sit, stay. It can even hop on your shoulder and follow you around and beat zombies to death and set them on fire. It's pretty useful, but it can get killed, so you can heal it by giving it fire charges, and every now and then it'll drop a feather for you as a little thank you gift. Why does the volcano egg hatch into an adult while this one hatches into a baby? The world may never know. But if I'm gonna impress the mod developer, I'm gonna need more than one boss. So there's one more thing the Phoenix Feather can do. You know this archaeology brush? Well, you normally craft it with a feather, but if you use the Phoenix Feather instead, you get this heavy brush, which is significantly stronger, and it's the only way to find the next one. For my next boss, I'm starting with the armadillo, which is the only mob whose skin you can humanely remove with a brush. It's not really skin though, it's more like a fingernail apparently. Honestly, there's not a lot to go off of here since it's probably the least intimidating creature in this game. You just have to look at it wrong and it locks itself in the shell. But I have a plan, so I started making a giant armadillo model one segment at a time. What makes this difficult is that it still needs to roll into a ball, so the model can't be too crazy. It's gonna have horns, it's gonna have these stubby meat legs, it's got this whack-a-mole tail that looks like a sledgehammer. It seems all over the place, but I'm basically picturing Ankylosaurus hardware with armadillo software. I don't know if this is gonna turn out as awesome as that sounds in my head, but I'm trying my best. For the texturing, I'm only using colors that can be found on the original armadillo. This is where the face is gonna go. The way the scales look, it's like he's wearing a helmet. These things are supposed to be spikes, so I started desperately attempting to make a spike pattern that doesn't just look like hair. Thankfully, I found one that I like though, so now I just need to get it onto the other 100 pieces. And the rest is pretty simple. I just need to draw the scales on the rest of the body. Shouldn't take more than, it's been 4 hours and I'm still, why did I make this so huge? It didn't even need to. Also check out the face now. The helmet overhangs like he's wearing a hat that's 3 sizes too big. The toes have been updated. That's big news. There's no way this still rolls into a ball, right? Wait, it works? That can't be right. The final design comes out to about 120 cubes. I don't know what possessed me to make it so gargantuan. Here's a player model for reference, but it's definitely more intimidating than the regular armadillo, so I guess I did something right. So this is the Razorback. It's a giant evil armadillo made from pure rage. Its main abilities include, ow, it has this attack where it jumps up and then launches 3 prongs worth of spikes through the ground on landing. It's kind of like the evoker things, but more of them. If you see the particle circle, that means it's about to hit you with the spin jitsu attack, which does a lot of damage, and it also does a slight amount of knockback. Very subtle, very tasteful. This attack though is the main one where he curls up into a ball and starts rolling towards you, picking up speed as time goes on. It can even steer towards you slightly, so you can't just sidestep. You have to sprint out of the way, because if you don't, it's a lot like getting hit by a truck. But the good news is you can use its own speed against itself. If you can bait it into a wall, it gets stunned like this, so you can get some hits in until it wakes up. Just don't do this around your house because it blows everything up and shoots out spikes everywhere. Technically, you can brute force the fight in any phase, but you deal way more damage when he's stunned like this, and it's also the most fun way to do it in my opinion. The regular armadillo only spawns in the savanna and badlands biomes, and it's the same for this thing, but there's a couple extra steps. First, we added a new ruin structure that's a lot like the trail ruins to keep with the archaeology theme. It's pretty basic. I mean, you get some pottery shards and some other random junk, lots of suspicious sand and suspicious gravel, but the real reason to come here is for this, the suspicious shell. It's this big 3x3 cube that gets buried underground somewhere in here, but it always spawns under coarse dirt, which makes it a lot easier to find once you know what you're looking for. Technically, this is actually an entity, but if you try hitting it or pushing it or leading it, nothing happens. The only way to get rid of this thing is to pull out one of these heavy brushes from earlier, which makes it start quaking in its boots really uncomfortably. Why is it so... Oop, there he is. For the rewards on this thing, I wanted to expand on what the regular armadillo has to offer, which mainly amounts to this wolf armor business. Normally, I would just make a stronger version, but wolf armor already makes your pets basically invincible, so to upgrade them even further, I ended up making two variants, light wolf armor and heavy wolf armor. The light armor keeps the protection stuff, but also increases speed, while the heavy armor increases attack damage. It's up to you to pick which of these would be best for your situation, and there could easily be more variants in the future to give different types of buffs. You can also use the Razorback scoots to make resistance potions. I didn't realize this at the time, but there is no base resistance potion. Like, technically you can do it, but it's got to be these turtle potion things, which also give you slowness. So this fixes that downside, and I think it fits with the whole self-protection gimmick the armadillos use in the first place. And if that's still not enough, you can also craft them into these spike traps, which, where'd they go? Oh right, it's a redstone component, so they extend when they have power and they retract when they don't. I could think of a few cool mechanisms you could use this for in mini games or mob farms or PvP, and they also spawn inside the ruins, so you can go pick some up for free as well. I think they're pretty neat, but it doesn't matter what I think because the project had come to an end and it was finally time for the mod developer to judge my work. If you want the model files for these, they're on my Patreon as usual.
I really like the boss. I love its attack patterns. I like the arena that you fight it in and the way that you get there. The parrot is very cool. I think the only other mob that does that is dolphins with shipwrecks when you feed them cod. The phoenix was a very cool mob and boss to fight, as well as the baby phoenix and the egg. I like the happy gas style hatching. In terms of things I would change, animation that could telegraph like, oh, it's gonna shoot fire, or oh, it's shooting fireballs now. Might want some way of knowing which attack will happen next, so I know exactly how to deal with it. Overall, there are things I would do different personally, but I think just in general, it is a very cool boss. It's very unique. I liked all of the mechanics and whatnot of it, so I'm going to give it like an 8 out of 10. I liked pretty much everything about the boss. I like the method that you discover it just in savannas, which archaeology has kind of been shunned by Mojang at this point. I like how it ties into the other boss, sort of like a linear progression. It had telegraphs. It had a lot of very cool and unique attacks. The rolling attack especially, because the stunning mechanic where you could lead it into a wall and stun it if it was going at fast enough speed. And the wolf armor's genuinely just an improvement to Minecraft. I was pleasantly surprised with it. In a way, it kind of feels like a Terraria boss where you have to prepare an arena beforehand so it's easier to fight and not running across the hills and plains of your savanna biome. I actually don't have anything that I would say I dislike about it. I probably would give this one a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I just enjoyed it a lot.
With that, I successfully managed to impress the mod developer and then brick the entire editing project by switching to DaVinci in the middle of a video. But this isn't over until it's 10s every single time. See ya.